yeah, here we go again. Hello and welcome into Ray on Sports. I am your host, Johnny Ray. In this podcast, we talk all things sports from my own opinion. You may agree or you may disagree, but all I do is ask that you listen. So come on in, buckle up, and let's take this ride. All right, here we go again. Happy Memorial Day weekend to everyone. This is Johnny Ray with Ray on Sports, coming to you live from the West Campus. I'm in here again with my brother, Big Mike.
What's up? What
and we about to do it. All right, so today's episode, we got a couple of subjects, but we might just stay on this one subject. We had two things I wanted to talk about, but I think this one thing is going to take up the majority of the time. So if we don't get to the second one, that's okay. We'll be all right with it.
That's right.
So today on Ray on Sports, we're going to talk about this NIL lawsuit.
Oh, my goodness. You didn't went there.
Man, we're going to give you the pros and cons of it.
The pros and the cons. Gotta have it.
And the details of it. We do our research around here. We just don't just come off the dome and just think we know what we talk about. We do our research.
Not that we couldn't.
But
come on.
We got to get it right.
Got to get it right.
And like I said, if you want to clap back, chat back, whatever you want to do, send me an email. Send me an email to rayonsports0905@gmail.com. Give me your opinion of it.
That's right. Go ahead and send it to me.
Give me your opinion of how you like, what you like,
right.
what you don't like. Because it's going to be more than one episode of this. I think it's going to be a two-parter because it's a lot to cover and it's a lot to get into.
Absolutely.
So let's just go right into it. This is the college sports leaders in deep talks to settle a NIL antitrust case versus the NCAA.
Well,
talk about it, Big Mike.
Well, it really only focuses on five conferences. They call them the power conferences, I think, or something to that effect. The ACC, the Big 10, the Big 12, the SEC, and the Pac-12. And so those are the conferences that voted to accept the general terms of this agreement. And a lot of people think, oh, man, the players are about to get paid. No, they not. Not like that. The revenue sharing is not expected to start until about 2025. And then one person says, right, the Notre Dame president, John I. Jenkins, he says this: the settlement, though undesirable in many respects and promising only temporary stability, is necessary to avoid what would be the bankruptcy of college athletics.
The bankruptcy?
Yeah. So it's almost like they're trying to save college sports.
Wow.
That's what they think.
They think I don't know.
Yeah. I got a whole nother take on that.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Oh, man. Well, you sure? Because there's about to be some people that's mad.
Hey.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
Let's do it.
So this is from the desk of Big Mike. I believe this is a shot at the black college athlete. Because you're focusing on paying players, right? So we know golf is not making a whole bunch of money.
Right.
We know hockey is not making a whole bunch of money. We know swimming is not making, track and field is not making that much money. Right? Baseball is not making that much money.
And for those who think I know those out there listening saying, well, my son plays hockey, my son plays baseball, we got that. But in the big picture of it, that's like a pink unicorn.
Yeah, see, now, Ray being nice, I'm gonna give it to you real. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
The primary sport for money is football.
Yes.
And at least 70% of the players are black.
Right.
African American. I'll say black because sometimes you get some players from different countries that are black.
Right.
And basketball. So the two primary sports that colleges make their primary money, where all that money comes, that they build all those facilities and new training centers and new dorms, new locker rooms and new science building and all this other money. right, aside from personal donations, comes from those two primary sports, football and basketball.
Yep.
And black children are the main ones that play those sports.
Mm-hmm.
So it is my conclusion that if you get black children to not concentrate on their education, but to chase the bag, especially in football at 18, 19, 20, how can they fully focus on education?
They can't.
And the black student athlete needs their education. It's not like because the chips are still stacked.
Right. Right.
Right?
Right.
And so you have now a method to channel that student athlete, the black student athlete's attention away from having a focus on education, when in reality they need their education. Because if we look at the average NFL, see, and that's what some of these kids are looking at, and this goes way back to when they are children. If you look at the average NFL career,
yes,
right, is little or nothing.
Right.
We talking 3.3 years.
Right.
Average NFL career is 3.3 years. The average NBA, National Basketball Association player's career is 4.5 years.
4.5 years. Did I get that? 4.5 years.
So if a child, right, okay, there's no way a child that's 18, a young man, is going to play NFL at 18. He'll get killed.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So he has to be 3 years removed. Okay, that's good. And in that time, they should be getting their education. They should not just be going to school to fully function to be an athlete that is an employee of the school.
Right. Right. Right.
Right? Because that's crazy. The average tuition for college players, D1 players, is about $120,000. So that's free everything, free room, free board, free food, all of that. And the reason I know, because my son played athletics, right? He was a Division I football player, graduated from college with no debt. When I say no debt, I mean no debt. Zero. And so when you pay these players, there's somebody named, I believe his name is Eric Adler. He wrote a paper, and he says, once you add a salary for people 18 to 22 years of age in college, their focus will go on to other things rather than education.
True. Very true.
So
very true.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is another plot twist to get black children off track from getting their education.
Right. And if for those who don't know, you listening in with Big Mike is an educator.
Come on.
So he's hard. We're all hard on our education, but Big Mike, I'm telling you, he's gonna do his research. He's an educator, and he believes that our children need to be educated.
Yes.
Now, parents, we're not saying your kids can't go out and get that money, but have an education, because once you get that money, you're gonna need an education.
Right.
You're going to need some way to navigate. You're going to need to know.
Come on, Ray.
You're not going to, and I think we talked about it on Big Mike's podcast. If you don't know, I'm a little plug for it. It's called Midlife Crisis with Midlife Mike.
Yes, sir.
Check it out. It's on all platforms.
That's
Apple,
right.
Podcasts,
That's right.
Spotify. But we talked about your circles. And if you don't have a good circle and you got that kind of money.
Man. This is how I look at it, right, with black families, right? And y'all could be mad if you want to. I really don't care. This is how I look at it with black families. And so when their child makes it and their child started getting paid, there's a demand from family members to support, right? The household, other family members, right? Everybody wants something. My take is you've been broke.
Right. If
you are broke, right? Because everybody's not broke. But if you a family that has had financial challenges, and everybody has, And now you're looking for your child who is at that point in life where they can help. Why would you take the quick money rather than allow them to get their education?
Right.
You've been financially challenged all these years, and now they have an opportunity to help. And the focus now becomes the money instead of the education. And the average NFL career is only 3.3 years, and for NBA is only 4.5. So what you are in essence doing is you're pressuring. The pressure comes from the child. I got to help my mom. I got to help my dad. I gotta support my family. I got to do this. I got to do that. No, and so you have to have something that says to that child, go get your education, because you want them to be able to help you in the long run.
Right.
The money is big once they get to the NFL, but a lot of times those dudes end up broke.
Right. Yep, they do.
They end up broke.
They do.
Because they don't know how to manage money.
Right.
And then they're not in line to be able to get another job. They can't speak, can't talk, can't enunciate words, don't have an education, don't have a degree. So what are you going to do?
Right. And I believe, I don't know, it was a movie I saw, and it was true to life. You know, I think it was Blue Chips. I want to say with Nick Nolte and Shaq.
Oh yeah, that's it.
And you remember the scene when his mama asked, "What you got for my child? What you got for my child?"
Right.
And she wasn't talking education.
Right. She's talking money.
She's talking money.
She's talking dollars. She's talking dollars and cents.
And that was true. That's true to life, and that's true. And I think movies like that kind of open up people's minds to it.
Right.
But there's two things to it. There's the people that open up their minds to it and says, well, my child not going out like that. I'm going to get them educated. Then there's the other side that says, oh, is that how they get paid?
Right.
Is that how they get, is that how they do it?
You're right.
So you got a 6'7" junior high kid in your house. Boy, you better go out and give me some money.
See, and that's how they look at it. But our approach in our house, when my son got that D1 scholarship, I said, my job was to get you to college. What you do after that is on you. But a lot of people don't look at it like that.
No, they don't.
In our community, in the black community, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, I want you to email Ray. Give him the email again, Ray.
Email rayonsports0905@gmail.
Come on. I need you, because I want to hear it. I want to hear what you have to say.
Back.
There is more emphasis on playing football, but you can't go to the parent-teacher conference.
Right. Ooh.
Right. You won't go see what's going on in your child's school, and you come up there fussing and cussing when your child get in trouble.
Right.
But when it's time to support your child playing sports, you out there with colors on and everything. Not only you, but your family, and you done brought all the treats and everything.
And you know what's amazing is you watch these athletes, and the more popular they get, the more fan base, the family fan base.
Right.
Not the people that know you from school. It's the family. It's the cousins that you ain't seen in 15 years. All those people come out and, oh, we supporting you now. Oh, we got you.
Come on.
Oh yeah, he gonna make it. That's the one.
Come on.
And when I see these athletes, and I'm not knocking any athletes that do stuff for their parents.
Right.
But you can see some of them are like, well, you'll see a story where athletes say, well, I went and bought my mama a house. I went and got my mama that. I got my mama that.
Right.
Is it really they doing it out of the kindness of their heart, or is it they doing it out the pressure?
Right.
From the mom, the dad, the uncle, whatever.
Right.
Man, I'm going to help you get there, but you better take care of me.
Now, you know what? And I respect that, because I do believe that children should help their parents if they can. But there should be a reasonable expectation.
Right.
I want my children to get their college education, and not that college education or education period is the end all be all, but it does help sustain life.
Yes, it does.
It's a means to an end.
There's life after sports.
There is life after sports. And if you think your child is going to be the next superstar, first of all, there aren't that many superstars in the NFL. Right. There's a lot of them that just make $100,000, $200,000 per year to play 16 to 18 games. And then there's always a chance that they can be put on the practice squad or cut immediately mid-season.
Right.
So you're looking for your child to be that upper echelon of not even 1% of superstars that get paid that big money. But you don't, and so in chasing that dream, what about their education? What about the ability to read and write and to put things together that's going to not only help them, but help their families and help their communities?
Right. So there's some, we're not, saying all athletes have done wrong. We got athletes that have given back to the community. They've done things in the community to help, help the kids because I think athletes think that was me. So when I make it, you can have that mentality that once I make it, I need to give back to the community. I need to do things in the community. I need to give. And it's not just being a face of the community. It takes more than that. It takes more than just money to do it.
It takes more than that.
It takes information. It takes what you've learned from the game.
Exactly.
That you can go back to that, not even a high school player, that junior high school player, and tell them, hey, this is how I got there. Because, everybody wants to be Jordan now. Everybody wants to be LeBron. Everybody wants to be a Steph. But maybe your athletic ability ain't going to make you a Steph.
See, the only one out of that group that you said is LeBron. That is, Steph grew up in the league with his dad. Dell Curry was a shooter. Right. So he grows up in the NBA culture. LeBron James is self-made in as much as, his father wasn't around. He had it hard coming up. LeBron James. There it is. He's really, that's where him and Michael Jordan are the same to me, because they come from an environment where they had to make it. Now, Michael Jordan went to college, I think, was 3 years.
Yes, he did. North Carolina.
He forego his senior year. He forewent his senior year. LeBron comes straight out of high school. But they had people around him. Michael Jordan's mother.
She was right there.
Made sure that they weren't squandering money. LeBron I believe he had solid people around him that helped him navigate his financial future. And so, but everybody doesn't have that. Like Bronny James, a lot of people say Bronny James shouldn't come out. Well, Bronny James has the support and the knowledge base of his father. Right? Now, Bronny James may not be ready, but he's out there proving himself and making his own. But there's no pressure on him to make it because he has something to fall back on, which is his family. He's going to make it somewhere. Every child doesn't have that. And saying, so my thing is this, to me, this is like organized slavery.
It is.
I'm not going to even, I'm not fronting. Yeah, because what you're doing, what the NCAA is doing and what the power conferences are doing or restructuring to pay these players just to get them to perform. Not really concerned about whether or not they go to class.
Not at all.
Because now that them going to class is not a priority if I'm paying you. Right.
Because I gotta focus more on this.
Right. If you're an employee, as an employee, your job is to do your job. And if your job is to play football, then why would I care whether or not you went to class?
And me as an athlete, why would I care about going to class?
And so that's what I'm saying. The focus now becomes making money. When the focus should still be getting an education, because our children, Black children, need that.
Yeah, they do.
And nothing against no other ethnicity. I'm not saying white kids don't need an education. I'm not saying Asian kids don't need an education. I'm not saying Native American children, island-born children. I'm not saying none of those other ethnicities they need an education as well. But the one group of people that have been stigmatized since their mass arrival in America has been Black people. And so for them to not get their education has now put them in a position where they're getting used again and may not even get a degree out of it. You didn't play for 3.5 years. You figure you ready to go pro. You worth about $5 million. Now you trying to make it big.
And the future's not guaranteed to you.
And the future is not guaranteed. So why wouldn't you get your education?
Now I did I was in LA, in Redondo Beach. And like we were talking about this, baseball players,
Oh man,
they have a totally different system.
yes,
So I saw a father and son walk in.
yes.
I knew he was an athlete when I saw the son walk in. They was in there to open a bank account because the son was getting paid.
Man,
He was getting his check.
man,
But his dad, I remember his dad said, but he's gonna get his education first.
right,
See, that's the difference.
right. That's the difference.
White athlete, white parents. He said, yeah, he gonna have his bank account. Yeah, I forgot how the dollar amount it was because it was, whatever. But he said, well, I'm just here for my son. I'm teaching my son how to open a bank account.
Right.
I'm teaching my son how to invest his money. I'm teaching my son. He said, but first and foremost, I told the team he's gonna get his education before he do anything else.
Come on, Ray.
And that's what we, as a black people, we do not do for our kids. We do not teach them education. We teach them money first.
Money first. It should be education money. How to take care of that money, where to invest that money.
Right, right.
Right? What's going to pay off for you? Put your money where it's going to grow, right? Set not only yourself up and your family that's right now, but what about your children's children's children?
Yep.
What about generational wealth?
Right, right.
And so not doing that, that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to set up generational wealth to where my kids have something to look forward to.
Right.
And so, I don't get it. Here's the thing. Tom Shad from USA Today, he says the proposal would also allow those same schools, likely the upper echelon of the football bowl subdivision, to branch off and make their own rules surrounding roster size, transfers, and name, image, and likeness, among other issues.
Wow.
See, that's what it's a setup. Everybody ain't benefiting from this.
No, they're not. No.
Everybody is not benefiting from this. And that's crazy. Right?
But like we see, the first thing people see, everybody getting paid.
That's not
what it's about.
That's a setup. Okay.
They setting up.
Okay, let me go sociology here for a minute. There is on Netflix, I believe, something called The 13th Power, something like that, where it chronicles black people over time and how they were treated and the things that went on. And this fits right in that narrative. It fits right in that narrative in that you have a system that looks like it's going to benefit the black athlete.
Right.
But in reality, you're just making another level of plantation where you're keeping them right where you want them
to be. Yep.
Instead of them getting their education.
Yep. Because they're thinking about that dollar.
And it's not about the dollar because money comes and goes.
Right. Money. A pastor of mine once told me money is a commodity. Some days you have it and some days you don't.
That's it. Money is a commodity. It's crazy. It's crazy. Right? And so Tom Shad goes on to say this. Tom Shad, look, USA Today, you ought to check out his article on this issue. He says and he breaks it down in a way to where you can fully understand it. There's one section in his article where he says, so why does this matter exactly? And he said, the big takeaway is this. The NCAA is opening the door for big money schools to branch off from everyone else and directly pay their athletes.
Wow. Directly.
So how can smaller schools compete with that?
Right.
If you're not in that Power 5 system. Right.
Now I read something here. Texas A&M athletic director Trev Albert. He said he recently told Bryant College Station Eagles school, I guess it's a school, that schools could be adding more than $15 to $20 million to their budget annually for what he termed a new expense category for athletes.
Man, it's crazy to me.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
There's no way nobody can convince me that all of that money is going to the athlete.
No, it's not.
It's not going to happen.
If you got a business mind,
it ain't going to that. They didn't work it out. Somebody else going to get paid. The school going to get paid somehow.
And the thing about it is, now the athlete's getting paid, you don't think everybody else going to come up and say, where's mine? Where's my piece of the pie?
Come on.
Athletic directors, trainers, the janitor that opens the gym for you.
Man.
You don't think they're going to have their hand out?
Man.
Hey, y'all paying them? Well, if it wasn't for me,
Right.
That it wasn't for me
Right.
mentality. Well, if
Right.
it wasn't for me, open up the gym for him. If it wasn't for me, turn on the water so he can get in the hot tub, he wouldn't be where he at.
Come on,
Where am I
Ray.
cut at?
Come on, Ray. And we don't need that. We don't need nobody holding a carrot over us saying, I did this for you to the
Right.
point where you owe me.
Right.
No, the child or the young man or the young woman
Mm-hmm.
was so good that you offered them a scholarship to play whatever sport, and it's primarily basketball or football.
Mm-hmm.
And they were that good.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they did benefit your school.
Right.
And in the end, they should get a degree other than
Right.
basket knitting.
Right. Basket knitting. Ooh.
Yeah. See, that's a
Wow.
whole nother topic that we need
Right.
to cover. You just got these kids, some of these kids in school, they not even taking real classes.
Nope, they not.
Right? I believe it was North Carolina that was cited for, they had a number of players that were taking classes like that, basket knitting and stuff that, wait, what does basket knitting got to do with me getting a college degree? I can learn how to basket knit online.
Right. Now here's another thing. Here's another thing about it. And think about this. The trend for athletes, the relationship they have with these girls.
Oh.
Talk about that. Because, they say, the female African American is not looking at them until they see a dollar sign.
Okay. I'm gonna go in psychology and sociology on you again.
Yo.
Yeah. I think that goes way back to slave days, where the family was broken up. And so if you notice in mainstream America, the black woman is the only woman that is encouraged to be independent of their men.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So if you got that narrative that is floating out there and it is pushed constantly, then you're going to have a certain amount of athletes that are not going to, now I have nothing against true love. True love is true love. You can't help who you fall in love with.
Right.
But if you are saying, I can't find a good black woman, there are plenty of them out there.
Yes, they are.
The question has to be, one, young men, can you deal with a strong black woman? And black women, can you allow your man to lead you? Now, understand this. Leading is an act of faith. I'm about to come on now. We start preaching up in here. Leading is an act of faith by the woman that's allowing you to lead them. So there has to be a trust factor that is so strong that she says to you, I'm going to let you lead, because it happens in every other ethnicity.
Yes, it does.
Right?
Yes, it does.
Now, we're not even talking about sport. We're just talking about life. We talk about procreating the black culture to the point where you have young men who are dating black women. And even if you don't date a black woman, right, it's still you're leading, right? And you're leading to the point where the woman respects you. And I think that's why a lot of black men go away from, black women, unless it's true love. If who you find is who you find, I can't fault that. But if your mentality is, I can't date a black woman because they too strong, they argue too much, they fuss too much, they always want some money or something, then you know what? That's the culture that has been generated that has led our women down the wrong road.
Right.
So that's a whole nother conversation.
Man.
But you brother, you striking some nerves. I'm just a person that's strumming it like a guitarist. You didn't hit the nerve, Ray.
But it's a conversation that has to be had.
It has to be had.
It has to be had.
It has to be had.
Because we don't want, and my audience, I love you guys. Give me a comment back. Back. Ray on Sports on 905 at gmail.com. Right. I told you in my intro.
Right. You
can like me or you can hate me, but just listen to it.
Listen to it. Then there's this, right? It says, who wrote this article? I find this stuff and I look at it and I process it. and I say, "Oh my goodness, this is a mess." And so when you look at it, this is from Heather Dinich, ESPN. She says, athletes and their advocates are still fighting to become employees or find other ways to collectively bargain in the future, which could reshape a revenue sharing agreement.
Wow.
Why do 18-year-olds need to think about revenue sharing?
Right. 18-year-old. Right.
The NIL is one thing, right? But now you talk about directly paying. So you're talking about taking these young people's attention away from getting their education to saying, I get paid to do this.
Right.
I'm 18, right? And when you hear some of these young people speak, you know that they need the training.
Yes.
To stay in school that they're going to get from being in school.
Yes.
I went to college, and so there's something to be said about when our 18-year-old Big Mike versus 22-year-old Big Mike. There was so much that I learned.
Right.
I learned how to speak. I learned how to navigate. I learned how to build relationships. I learned how to, it's more than just a college education. It was something where I learned how to navigate the system and get what I need from people and not piss them off in the process.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Our young people need that.
I agree.
They need that.
And you got these players out here now that you can tell they're not really educated.
No.
But the media is how can I say this? The media is using that
right
as a what is that? They're just advertising. They're putting it out there. They're saying, "Oh yeah, that's good. Say it. Let them say it. Let them say how you feel. Let them say how you do it. Whatever you do." I'm gonna give you one. Who is this? Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
So Anthony Edwards was on with Inside the NBA. Let me set this up for you. Inside the NBA, they just won the game 7 against the against the Denver Nuggets.
Okay.
So they had Anthony Edwards on there. Now he's not the best educated brother in the league, but they calling him the face of the league.
Right.
So he says a quote to Charles Barkley, and it goes viral. It's not the best educated quote, but it goes viral. So I'll let you hear this.
Right.
Man, congratulations, man. It's an honor to watch you play. Okay, I have not been to Minnesota in probably 20 years.
Bring your ass.
Hey, can you send me a list of good...
See that? See that?
Like I said, Ray, you hitting some nerves, brother. You hit some nerves. And you know what? We've been conditioned to be numb to that comment.
Right.
It's okay because he plays basketball and he's so good at it that we can excuse the vernacular.
Right. See?
That's crazy to me. The same thing happened. I believe his name was Reggie Williams. I believe it was 1985, Georgetown. When they won a championship, Reggie Williams was a freshman. And they tried to interview him and he was speechless. Right. And so they looked at that as him not having the skills to be able to speak in front of somebody. Right. I don't think it was that. I just think the young man was overcome with emotion that he was just speechless, which is normal for an 18-year-old. See, but our young people get stuck in that cycle if they don't get their education.
Right.
You never learn how to navigate, how to speak, how to practice. And I'm not saying, like I said, college is not the end all be all. Maybe it's just life experiences. But if you forfeit the opportunity, if you are given an opportunity to get a college education for free, you should absolutely take it and you should see it through. Because and don't get no education in basket knitting.
Nope.
Get you something that's going to help you make some money.
Get an education in
speech, psychology,
marketing,
right? Mathematics.
Yep.
Get your teaching credentials, something that's going to benefit not only you, but your children and your community, that's going to build up you as a person, as a young man or a young woman. You go be a medical doctor, right? A dentist, whatever. Maybe it's biology, maybe, medical, maybe you want to be a lawyer, whatever it is, go do that. Get that education for free. Why wouldn't you get that education for free?
because you won't be sounding like that.
Yeah. So, but Ant-Man is excused because he is what we call a dog, which he is a dog. And dog is a positive term in this sense. It means that he can play basketball and is afraid of nobody. He will come at you. That's a dog. He is a dog, no doubt. But that comment right there is so crazy that we've been desensitized to think anything negative of that because he's just keeping it 100.
Right.
But in reality, he can't get no job with that phrase.
No, he can't.
You talk, imagine, come on, America, listen to me.
Talk to us.
Come on, listen, America. You got Anthony Edwards sitting across from you and you interviewing him and you say something to him and he says, bring that up. Thank you very much. The interview, we'll call you.
That's it. It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
Right? And so, no.
Or you see this dude working somewhere.
You
instead of him saying next in line, bring your egg.
Can you imagine that? Even at a fast food restaurant,
Right.
minimum wage.
Right.
Instead of saying next in line, bring that. Mr. Edwards, please come. We're going to give you your last check. We'll call you back. We'll mail it to you. You make sure all your information is right. Thank you,
man.
Yeah, there is no way he keeps a job with that phrase.
No way. But that's his. That's the way he talks.
That's the way he talks.
And when I'm looking at that, I'm saying, where's your PR people?
Right.
Where's your circle of friends that say, hey, man.
How is that okay?
Right. Because there's more interview, and there's a couple more interviews with him and Karl Anthony Towns, and they're just talking. And people just soaking it in.
See?
And I know it's a reporter in there going, these.
Hey, let me tell you something. And we have allowed, and black people have allowed that. We've co-signed that.
Right.
And it's not okay. Because what I want from young people more than anything is to recognize when somebody is looking down on you because of the color of your skin.
Yep.
America is famous for using black folks, but not wanting to allow them into certain circles. Right. We'll take your talent. We'll take your swagger, but you can't come in this door.
Nope. Sure can't.
That's crazy to
We'll
me.
take your money.
See, and that's what this deal is to me. We'll use you, but you ain't gonna own no football team.
Nope. You'll play for the football team.
Right, you'll play for the football team.
You talk ownership? Nope.
Nah. See, so
and I don't know. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. Go ahead.
When they say ownership, that's when the education comes in.
That's where education comes in.
Because you can go up there and says, I want to own a team. Well,
right.
And then they're gonna start throwing stuff at you, marketing terms at you. They're gonna show all these business terms they're gonna throw at you. You're like, what? What do you mean? Do you have this? Do you have this? What's this look like? What that look like? Well, you're not really educated, so we can't really let you own them.
Right.
Wait a minute. You didn't say that when I was playing for you.
See?
When I was bringing all that money in for you. You wasn't saying that then.
Come on.
But now I want a piece of the pie. And I was like, well, I don't know. Two owners that come to mind when that, and I love teams. I'll just say it. Two owners that come to mind that are famous for that is Jerry Jones and what's the guy in New England?
Oh, Robert Kraft.
Those two will never see a dark-skinned person in their front office.
See, here's the thing. Let's not even go that high up the ladder. Can you read your own contract and decipher it?
Right.
Now, I'm an educated black man. I still have a problem reading the contract. I have to take my time. I have to say, you know what? Let me come back to you.
Right.
And make sure what I'm signing.
Right. I'm
going to go home and examine it. I'm going to look over it rather than just sign freely or blindly.
Right.
Before I hand my money over to you, I need to know exactly. You need to tell me in lay terms
what I'm getting
and what you're doing with my money. Now, this is the problem with young black athletes. This is a narrative. They often sign and don't read.
Right.
Or they give responsibility of their money to somebody else and don't know where that money's going.
Right.
And it's not until they're broke
that they realize.
That somebody did something with my money. But if you take the time to get your education, then what happens is, and this is where I'm preaching, the Lord will bring back to your remembrance.
Won't
He'll
he
raise
do it?
the little hairs on the back of your head
Won't he do it?
that says something is wrong with this. You need to pay attention. Somebody's taking advantage of your resources.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, man.
White athletes,
I don't have no problem with white athletes.
they take advantage.
Yeah, and they getting better in those sports.
Right. And I heard a story about Tom Brady, and they said when he played, and he even said it, he said, I took less money because I saw the bigger picture.
He saw the
bigger picture. He said, I'm taking less money. So they said, well, how did Tom got all this? Tom said, I saw the bigger picture. I could take less money because I see the bigger picture. If our young athletes would see that narrative.
See the bigger picture. In football, so here's two things. In basketball, your face is everywhere because they see you.
Right. Football, you have a helmet on.
Right.
You know, if you see that person walking down the street, you might not really know him. But you got to see the bigger picture. Yeah, I'll take less money, but if it's going to give me championship teams, those star players take less money because they see the bigger picture.
Yes.
There's more money to be made in endorsements.
Yes.
There's more money to be made in championships.
Yes.
There's more contracts you can get because you are a 5-time champion. Who's going to take athletes that's making whatever the cap is on money, but don't have no championships to back it?
Right.
The media is not going to take that.
You're right. And what the NFL and fans now realize that it wasn't Bill Belichick.
Right.
It was Tom Brady.
It was Tom Brady.
Now, here's the thing. And Tom Brady plays that position that oftentimes and up until lately, and even still now, people still think that's a white man's position. Right?
Right.
So, but Tom Brady was smart. I didn't see Tom Brady on a whole bunch of endorsements.
Nope.
I didn't see him. He did a couple, but I didn't see him. He wasn't you know, he wasn't out there like, you know, LeBron is. LeBron is everywhere.
Right.
And that's cool. I don't have no problem with that.
Right.
But you didn't see Tom Brady out there like that. But he made good money, right?
He did.
But the thing is, when he retired, he's not going to worry about nothing.
Nope.
And here's the thing. You never heard him buying anything for his parents.
Nope.
He might have.
But he never said anything.
But that wasn't the story.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about with America. The story with the black athlete is they made this money and they bought their parents a house. You've been broke for 22 years. You could be broke another year or two. Let that child get their education. Right. But the white athlete, we don't hear that. Oh, they went on. Here's what they went on and got their degree. They played football for a little while and now they the marketing genius over it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Crockett and Johnson.
Yeah. Now, one athlete, a quarterback for my team, the San Francisco 49ers. You got to go back to the Super Bowl. I'm going to come on down to San Francisco and take y'all out. Anyway, Brock Purdy.
Yes.
His parents. His dad still works at the store, convenience store.
See?
And they asked him, they said, well, you know, you all that fame. And he said, my dad still works.
Dad still works.
He said, my dad works. He said he gets a little, you know, bonuses for working there. You know, the people in the community said thank you because, you know, when you come from a small town, you put that town on the map.
Right.
So then all the media comes to the town. You know, people start knowing the town, you know, tourist attraction, all that stuff like that. But he said, no, my dad still works.
See?
And that's why they're like, oh, your parents don't come to the games. He said, because they're working.
His father pushed him to be a better man.
Right.
Than he was. And not that his father was a bad man.
Right.
But he's a man said, here, you know what, son? I want you to go further than me. I don't need your resources. What we have going on is good enough. Right. Now, I get it. I get it, Black America. I can hear you all talking mess. I get it. Well, we struggling. We got this.
Right.
Listen, give your child an opportunity to go further than you. Not just for the money,
right?
But with their mind when they have children, so that they can push their children's further,
right,
than where you went.
Right.
And that's all. That's what I want for my kids. Be better than me.
Right.
But you can't get that if you just focusing on the bag.
Right. And like you said, the parent-teacher conferences are not there. But let my child get a hint of being famous or making it in the sport.
Come on.
Oh, now I gotta go. My child got this and my child got that. I gotta run with. Wait a minute.
Right.
What happened when Miss Purdy was calling you from school and saying your child is acting up and throwing things against the wall?
Right.
And you didn't want to come up there.
Right.
What happened to that?
Right. You're right.
What happened to all that?
It's crazy because, okay, let me put it to you like this. Black athletes, they hypersexualize us. So they got the show called NBA Wives, right?
Right.
And they always hypersexualize the women.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't see any white players' wives on there.
Nope. No.
None.
No.
None.
Mm-mm.
Right. They only highlight the black. Right. And so this is so much. This is political to me because we're talking about a generation of young people that look to not doctors and lawyers, but they look to entertainers as leaders.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but make sure you know what you're doing. Right.
I agree.
And so, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because, I don't know, right? It's
a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to unpack.
It's a whole bunch to unpack.
So we got about like, I said we got about 10, 15 minutes. So this subject is going to continue because we're going to do some more stuff on it.
Yes,
come
sir.
Back next week. But before we get out of here, I got one other thing to talk about. One other thing.
Okay.
And if y'all don't know, Big Mike's going to go off. So we talk about the NBA playoffs. You got the Dallas Mavericks versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. So Stan Van Gundy, former NBA coach, is not a sportscaster for TNT. I'm sorry, TNT. And all these people we talk about, hey, get the word out to them. Let them know. Come on, Rail Sports, talk about it. Let's get your insight on it.
Right.
I don't pull no punches. I don't hold nothing back. But if you want to talk about it, come on the show. I'm here.
Right.
So he said something. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving is the best offensive duo in history.
That's a no. That's an absolute no. You about to get my if I had dandruff, you about to get my dandruff up. Because then what you're saying is that duo is better than Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. That duo is better than Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That duo is better than Larry Bird and Robert Parrish or Kevin McHale, whichever one you want to put in there. Right?
Right.
That those duos come second to Luka and Kyrie.
Right.
This is 1 or 2 years of success for them, where and Kyrie I think only has one championship and Luka has none.
Right.
And so what you're saying is Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen who have 6, right? What you're saying is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic who have 5,
right?
And Larry Bird and whoever you want to stick in there, either Robert Parrish or Kevin McHale, have 5 as well. So what you're telling me, and you got to throw Kobe and Shaq in there too, who also got around. I think Kobe has 5 and Shaq has 3 or 4.
Right.
So what you're telling me is that duo is better than all those other duos.
Right.
And I would tell any person to their face, you crazy.
You crazy.
Because, okay, so here, let me help you understand. I'm a Magic fan, right? And so when I say Magic fan, that's the era I grew up in. When Magic came into the league, he was 20 years old. He had just won a national championship at Michigan State. Come on now, I'm going to start spitting facts at you. You better leave me alone. And so Magic comes out, and he goes to the championship against the Philadelphia 76ers. Kareem gets hurt for Game 7, right? Kareem is hurt in Game 6, cannot play Game 7. They go to Philadelphia, and straight off of winning the NCAA championship, Magic Johnson says, I will play center.
Right.
He plays center and scores 42 points. Almost has a triple-double, and they win the championship at 20 years old.
At 20 years old.
So you mean to tell me that Luka, who has no championships,
Right.
and Kyrie, who has one, was better than the 20-year-old Magic. You crazy.
Crazy.
You crazy.
Now, you already gave the stats. I was going to get the stats, but Big
on.
Mike already read my stats.
Come
I don't know what's
on.
wrong with him. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, 6 championships together during the 90s, where Jordan earned Finals MVP 6 times.
Man.
Pippen was a perfect complement for Jordan.
Man.
Magic and Kareem, like you said, 5 championships together. Magic, one of the greatest passers, orchestrated offense, while Kareem, dominant scorer, and unstoppable skyhook.
Now, let me tell you about that skyhook. Kareem is 7'2", right? I think
Yeah.
7'2", 7'1",
Yeah.
7'2". His reach was, probably 7 feet, 8 feet. Now, imagine that skyhook. He jumps, and it's on the back half of his body. And his arm length is, so you would almost have to touch the top of the backboard.
Right.
To block that shot. So that shot was unblockable.
Unstoppable.
And he was so accurate with it, he would shoot it from 25 feet out and make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was a beast with that. There's nobody that could stop that.
Right.
They used to try to get him outside, but I saw him against Boston when I was a child. He got on that block. I remember because they were going to win a championship in Boston. He gets on a block and he goes out. They push him out a little bit, and from about 20 feet, he throws that sky hook up on the baseline, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Bam. Man, so you can't
do nothing with that.
So you got Kobe and Shaq, 3 championships together.
Oh man,
Kobe, ferocious scorer. Shaq, unstoppable in the paint.
Let me tell you something. Shaq was so nasty in the paint.
Yeah, he was.
And he was so strong, you couldn't do nothing with him.
I heard this on, I think it was on Shaq's podcast, the Big Shaq podcast. He had Draymond on there, and he said, "Draymond, me and Kobe against you and Steph, who winning?" You know what Draymond said?
What?
We ain't letting you get the ball. How about that?
You can't stop him when he gonna get the ball.
And Shaq looked at him. He's like, "What do you mean?" He said, "I'm gonna be in front of you, and somebody gonna be behind me, but you ain't getting that ball."
He get that ball, and he going straight to the hole.
So you know what Shaq's reply was?
What?
Who's stopping Kobe?
You couldn't stop Kobe. Kobe, see, that's what people don't understand. Kobe was a Michael Jordan disciple.
Yes.
So he studied Jordan and used to ask, and him and Jordan were close because of his attitude. He had the same mentality as Jordan.
Right.
So he knew footwork. He knew those things that a lot of other players take for granted and don't know. And so when he came to play, and he was so laser focused, right? You could try to stop Shaq and double team him, but if you mean to tell me you gonna single team Kobe in his prime?
Nope.
That's a wrap. That's 40. That's a 40 piece.
Right. Now, coming more in the 2000s, you had Steph and Clay.
Steph and Clay are jump shooters.
Right.
Now, don't get it twisted. Steph is probably the greatest jump shooter we've seen since modern era NBA, right? I think the closest one would be somebody like Pistol Pete Maravich.
Right. Pure shooter. But in this day and age, I've never seen anybody like Steph. He's in range when he's on the court. Right, from anywhere, especially when he gets past half court. And so, and I don't have nothing against Steph. Steph is an excellent point guard. A lot of people doubted him coming out of college, but that dude can flat out shoot that ball. And then that's what makes him dangerous. But he does other things well as well. He does other things that just make him an excellent player. But then see if you say, but now he has championships too, so you can't discount Steph. Yep, he got 4.
Right, he got 4. You can't discount Steph. But as it being one of the best duos, he would need somebody else to be the number 2. He need another Robin. Clay is good, but he ain't Robin.
No, he not.
He's good. I would love to have Clay on the Lakers.
Right.
But he ain't no Robin.
Clay, do you hear us?
Yeah, Clay, come on down. Come on home, Clay.
Come on.
But you ain't no Robin.
You ain't no Robin. All right. Oh, man. That was good. That was good.
Oh, my
that was
goodness.
good right there.
Oh, my goodness.
We got to come back to this. We got to come back to this NCAA. We're gonna come back with that. But I thank you guys once again.
Yes, sir.
for sitting down, buckling up, and taking this ride with us on Ray on Sports with my man Big Mike.
Yes, sir.
Bringing the education.
Come on.
Bringing that fire to the podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Love him like a brother. He is a brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brother from another mother.
Yeah, blood couldn't make us no thicker.
That's it.
Baby. That's how we get down.
That concludes this episode of Ray on Sports. I love you guys. I'll see you next time on Ray on Sports. I'm trying to get my stuff together. There we go. Trying to find it.
There it is. Ray on Sports. Come on, y'all.
Ray on Sports.
There it is.
Ray on Sports is sponsored by nobody.
There we go.